for this effect, I can start off by showing the participant that we're going to use a joker for this effect. So the joker can stay right there. I can then hand the deck over to the participant and they can give it a shuffle. After they're done, they can take out any card they would like. So let's say they take out this card. And keep in mind, we can either have two participants, so each participant selecting one card each, or one participant selecting two cards, just writing them down to remember it. But it doesn't matter. So here is the first card. Go ahead and remember that. After they have remembered their card, I would take the card back and I would go ahead and give the deck a little mix to really lose their card somewhere in the deck. So now we would have another card selected, and this is going to be the second selection. So go ahead and remember this card for me. Okay, we will take your card and we will lose it somewhere into the deck. Let's say right about here. So now we would go over to the Joker and explain that the Joker is going to try to find both selections. So all I'm going to do is run my thumb down the side and you just insert the Joker in. Let's say I run my thumb down and they put the Joker in here. So now we're going to break it where you really put the Joker in, and I can show you one card less is the 8 of clubs, one card more is the 7 of hearts, but you stopped on this card, and let's hope that this is the first participant's card, the 8 of diamonds. No, that is not your card. Okay, then. What we're gonna do then is this. We will leave the card right there, but we're gonna take the Joker back, and what we're gonna do is try this again. So I riffle my thumb down the side, they place their Joker in, we break it, and just like this, I can show you one card less is the Ace of Diamonds, one card more is the Jack of Diamonds, but you stopped right here on the Joker? Wait a second. I thought I handed the second person the Joker. Well, if I have the Joker, what does the second participant have? The their card. I thought I gave the first participant their card. Well, if I have the Joker, the second participant has their card, then that means the first participant has their card as well. And that is the effect. If you would like to learn how to do this, stick around for the tutorial. Before I get into the tutorial for this, the cards that I'm using are the Navigators. I have a deck review on these. I will link that in the description. Okay, so tutorial time. This is a really advanced trick, but with a few practices, I think you can get this down. Now, of course, I didn't do the best performance just because of the camera here, and it was a little hard because I didn't have two people, but I hope you really got the gist of it. So, all you need for this effect is a Joker and then your deck of cards, and you're all set. So, you can start off by having the Joker off to the side and the deck can be shuffled. So there's no setup for this, which is actually great. After this, you take the deck back and you're going to have the first card selected. And you wouldn't look at it, and it's even better if you can get two people to sign their cards so they really know, hey, the second person has the first person's signature, and then this person has this person's signature, and just like that. So in this case, we have the Queen of Diamonds. All you want to do is control the Queen of Diamonds to the top. I will leave a link in the description for some card controls, and I will also leave in the description the control I did, which was the controlled overhand shuffle. After that, you're going to have a second card selected. You just don't want the top card, okay? But any of these cards will do. So let's say just by going through, and an easy way you can do this is you can either have them cut the cards, you could riffle down, or you can put your thumb on the top card and then spread out the rest. You just don't want this top card selected. So let's say in this case we go through, and once again you wouldn't look at it. Oh, okay, so let's hope we still have the Queen of Diamonds on top, which we do. Okay, so we have the Four of Clubs as the second selection. What you want to do with this card is control it second from the top. Now in the performance, I did the Marlowe tilt. You could also do the bluff pass, and I will also leave those tutorials in the description, and you can also check out the card controls, the overhand shuffles, and see if I teach any other way to control the card second. But two easy ways are the Marlowe tilt and the bluff pass. So, after this, you pick up the Joker, you leave it face down, and you explain you're going to riffle down the side of the deck, and they place the Joker in face down. So you really do that. They riffle down, they place the Joker in. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna do sort of a move that's like the KM move. I'm not gonna go over it in depth, but I will link the KM move in the description. So all you're gonna do is break the top half, and notice how my middle ring and pinky are overlap in the top of the deck. You're actually going to want this. So I lift up the side, I peel out the Joker, and with my fingers applying pressure, I'm able to just turn my hand, and with applying pressure to the top card, I can rotate this wrist, which will peel out all of the cards except the top card, which is theirs. And this is really what you're going to do, and it's going to look like they stop at this card, which is the first card. Technically, they stopped at this card, however. So you have your fingers here, apply pressure, you come over to the side, and this was hard for camera, but you're gonna rotate your wrist out, and with your index, you can point and say, okay, one card less is the Queen of Hearts. Turn both hands over, peel off this top card, which is the Queen, and say one card more is the 2, you're now going to put this half on the bottom, square up everything, and do a double lift, and say you stopped on the 4 of clubs. And before you do this move, you explain we're going to try to find the first person's card. So if you want, you could have the second participant try to find the first person's card, and then you can have the first person find the second participant's card. But then you say, okay, we found the 4 of clubs, and all I did here was a double lift. If you're not familiar with the double lift, I will link some videos in the description. But you can say, okay, that was your card, wasn't it? The first person will say no, and the second will say, well, that's my card. And you say, well, that's weird, but let's try this. You're going to come into this break, you're going to lift up the double, and you're going to do sort of another KM move. So it's really good if you're familiar with this move. Here it is exposed. You're going to turn this double down, hold it as a double as good as you can. So apply some pressure in the middle. You can turn this deck down. Notice how everything squares up. My fingers latch on, and my thumb is just gonna pull out this card and set it down. So it looks like you gave the first person the 4 of clubs, but you gave them the Queen of Diamonds, which is their selection. So you show the 4, you come down, you line up everything, and then you peel out the card. And of course, I flashed it because it's hard to do on camera. You're gonna keep the deck like this. You can now raise it to a up and down position. I think is vertical like this because you don't want to flash the 4. Right then, I can pinky count to catch a break under the top card. I'll leave a link for the pinky count. You take back the joker, you can show it, and another thing you can do is push off with your thumb, put your pinky in, and pull back, and you have your break. If you want, you could put the joker on top, facing the same direction as the 4, have them lined up, and then you can riffle up 2 cards. But now, once you're like this, you come back down and say, okay, let's try this again. And now you're going to do another double lift. So, what we have here is the 4 of clubs, which they think is set down here, by the way, but it's the queen. So you have the queen here, you have the 4 here, and you have the joker here. So you say, okay, let's try this again. Don't hand them this card. You want to convince them this is the joker. So if you hand it to them, they may turn it over and see it's not the joker. So you say, okay, I'm going to riffle down, and you call out stop. Now, if you're confident that your participant won't turn over the card, of course you can hand it to them. But if you're not so confident, or just to make it easier, you can hold on to it. But they riffle down, you place the joker in, and now you're going to do the same move. So you're going to lift up, peel out that joker, and now you're just going to peel off that first card while showing the 8 here. Put the card on top, show the Queen of Hearts here, square everything up like before so that queen packet goes to the bottom, but this time you do a single lift. You say, okay, you stopped on the joker. Wait a second, I thought I gave the second person the joker. Well, if I have the joker, what do you have? You're the 4. I thought I gave the first person the 4. Well, if I have the joker, the second person has their card, then that means that the first person has their card as well. And that is the effect. So, I hope you really enjoyed this effect. This is a little hard to get down, but it's really nice if you can actually get this down smoothly and actually perform it. So, I hope you liked it. If you're new here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time with a new video. Bye.